We are picking up where we left off in the Fade. Ash is trying to make her way out of here.
Ah, we have a visitor.
Oh, good.
Some silly little girl comes to steal the fear I kindly lifted from her shoulders.
Silly little girl.
You should have thanked me and left your fear where it lay, forgotten. You think that pain will make you stronger. What fool filled your mind with such drivel?
Nietzsche?
The only one who grows stronger from your fears is me. You are a guest here in my home, so by all means let me return what you have forgotten.
Really confident talk for someone who is hiding. I guess it's no surprise that fear is a coward. Got the flowers. I think the other dreamer is around here. Ah.
Be ready! I'm guessing those aren't friendly either! One down!
We're going to skip this thing that's at the bottom of this incline just for now.
What's that?
Just so we don't have to fight the demons twice.
Perhaps I should be afraid, facing the most powerful members of the Inquisition. Greetings, Dorian. It is Dorian, isn't it? For a moment I mistook you for your father.
Rather uncalled for.
Once again, Hawk is in danger because of you, Varric. You found the Red Lyrium. You brought Hawk here.
Just keep talking, Smiley.
Döth ma Herelan. Mabanal in Asalin. Marsolas in Amardin.
Bonal, Nadas.
So the nightmare, this is a rough translation, but the nightmare says to Solus something like, your pride will be your downfall, and then it calls him trickster or rebel in some translations. And Solus responds, nothing is certain. And I think this is just hilarious because Aislin speaks Elven, so she would know exactly what they said. I wish she got the opportunity to ask Solus about it, but we'll just headcanon that she does and that he explains it away because he's good at that.
Did you think you mattered, Hawk? Did you think anything you ever did mattered? You couldn't even save your city. How could you expect to strike down a god? Anders is going to die, just like your family, and everyone you ever cared about.
Of course, a fear demon would know where to hurt us most. We must ignore it.
This is the first time I have a romance talk, so I've never heard that before. That is pretty brutal.
Those were little fears, tiny manifestations spawned from the nightmare itself.
And they take the form of spiders, something so many fear.
You saw spiders? I saw creatures corrupted by red lyrium.
Remember, we walk in the Fade. Demons of fear shape their appearance to unnerve each of us.
Wonderful.
The nightmare is closer now. It knows you seek escape. With each moment, it grows stronger.
We'll try talking to her now and hope we don't trigger combat.
We only have a short time. Ask what you must.
What can you tell me about this mark on my hand?
You already know how the mark came to be upon your hand. As for what it is the needle that pulls the thread, as well as the key.
I don't understand.
It is the needle that passes through the veil, as little else can. You are the thread, and it is the key that locks or unlocks the door to the Fade. It lets you walk in the Fade physically, and survive. Without it, Corypheus must find another way to the Black City. It is part of you now, and cannot be removed without your death.
I'd like to know more about the nightmare.
It is not simply fear. It is the terror you cannot remember, the horror your mind erases to protect you. When old memories no longer make the veteran soldier's hand tremble, it is because the nightmare has taken them. Most people avoid their fears. It is simple for the demon to steal the darkest fragments. They forget, and it feeds. Corypheus has helped it grow monstrous.
It makes people forget the worst parts of their fears? It almost sounds like the nightmare is helping people.
Perhaps it was once. But now, it helps none but Corypheus. By his hand, it creates more fear and grows even stronger. In any case, robbing people of their fears is never a kindness. At best, it is a mistake born of compassion. Without fear and pain and failure, we cannot learn. We cannot grow, as you cannot grow until you recover all that was taken from you.
We should keep moving.
That's enough for now.
Demons! Keep running! Ah!
Breach back in Haven. That's how I escaped.
The demon! Keep running! Ah! Go!
It was you. They thought it was Andraste sending me from the Fade, but it was the Divine behind me. And then she died.
Yes.
So this can't be the Divine.
I think we all knew that was the case, Warden.
I am sorry if I disappoint you.
The only thing that's important right now is getting out of the Fade. Whatever you are, you've helped us so far.
What we do know is that the mortal Divine perished at the temple, thanks to the Grey Wardens.
What, again? It wasn't their fault. We can debate the depressing details when we get back to Adamant.
Yes, Adamant, where the Inquisition faces an army of demons raised by the Wardens.
So what do you say? Terrible actions are only justified when they're your terrible actions? You tore Kirkwall apart and started the Mage Rebellion.
To protect innocent mages, not madmen drunk on blood magic. Even without the influence of Corypheus, the Wardens go too far. They need to be checked.
Agreed. The Wardens may once have served a greater good, but they are far too dangerous now.
They might still be useful. What if Corypheus conjures another blight? You never know.
I don't know what to tell you. There are a few good ones, but an awful lot of the Wardens I've known went crazy.
She definitely agrees with Hawk.
The Wardens carry out a vital duty, but they also go too far. They need to be controlled.
Inquisitor.
The Nightmare has found us.
All together!
I'm with you.
Come, real or not, the Divine is the key to escaping from the Fade.
Did the king's bastard think he could prove himself? It's far too late for that. Your whole life you left everything to more capable hands. The Archdemon, the throne of Ferelden. Who will you hide behind now?
Is that all it's got? I've heard worse than that from Morrigan.
I think there's another mirror over here, but then we'll keep it moving.
Vast, but that's a big one.
It wants our fear. Deny it and it has nothing.
Do I remember this puzzle? Nope. Okay, muscle memory. Okay, that's kind of embarrassing. Why can I remember the correct order of that, but not, like, important or useful information? Came down to find the last sphere and remembered the cemeteries here. So we've got Vivian Irrelevance, Iron Bull Madness, Varric became his parents. Cass is helplessness, Dorian temptation, Sarah the nothing, Solus, it's just heartbreaking, dying alone, Cole despair, and Blackwall himself. Very telling. I think Aislin's biggest fear would be similar to Cassandra's with helplessness, maybe betrayal, which we'll see how that plays out. But yeah.
The rift! We're almost there.
Great, Hawk. Why not just dare the old gods to try and stop you?
Okay, trying to prepare myself. Let's do this.
If you would, please tell Liliana. I am sorry. I failed you too.
I grow fat on your fear.
We can do it!
You cannot stand against me. You will die in agony.
We're almost there!
You are nothing.
How do we get by?
Go! I'll cover you.
No, you were right. The Wardens caused this mess. A Warden must...
A Warden must help them rebuild. That's your job. Corypheus is mine.
Okay, like Alistair said, the Wardens caused this mess, and honestly, even if she wanted Hawk to stay behind, Ash wouldn't let him, because she wouldn't do that to Varric. So, this has to be her choice. Doesn't mean it's gonna hurt any less, though.
Alistair.
Right. Good luck. I'll keep it off you. For the Wardens! She was right. Without the nightmare to control them, the mages are free. And Corypheus loses his demon army. Though as far as they're all concerned, the Inquisitor broke the spell with the blessing of the Maker.
Once they understand what really happened...
Honestly, after all the death they've seen, perhaps it would be better to let them believe the legend.
Inquisitor, the Archdemon flew off as soon as you disappeared. The Venatori Magister is unconscious but alive. Cullen thought you might wish to deal with him yourself. As for the Wardens, those who weren't corrupted helped us fight the demons. We stand ready to help make up for Clarel's tragic mistake. Where is Alistair?
She's gonna rip him apart.
Warden Alistair is dead, thanks to all of you. He alone stood against Clarel's madness. If not for him, you'd be dead, or slaves to a servant of the Blight. And you repaid that by branding him a traitor.
Inquisitor, we have no one left of any significant rank. What do we do now?
You leave. There was one warden among you who spoke up for what was right, and he's dead now. By the authority of the Inquisition, you are banished from southern Thedas.
A bit dramatic, if you ask me.
Hawk will oversee your return to the Warden Fortress at Weishaupt.
Yes, Your Worship.
Your Worship, I would stay, if you allow it, and continue our fight.
Of course. I've never doubted your loyalty, Blackwall.
Good luck, Inquisitor. It's been an honor. And take care of Varric for me.
Is it ridiculous that I'm still holding out hope we might see whomever we left in the Fade alive in Veilguard? Because I'm definitely going to hold out for Alistair. I have to.
Hawk sent me one final report. He's on his way to Weishaupt. The Grey Wardens are gone as well. Adamant Fortress has been sealed. You dealt Corypheus a significant blow, Inquisitor.
The Grey Wardens are active in other nations. If we put out a discreet warning about the danger they pose...
We may improve our standing with nations already concerned about the Wardens. I will take the matter to Josephine. While you bested Corypheus here and at Halam Shiral, he himself was not present either time. We fear he's close to finding another way to enter the Fade. When you have a moment, Cullen and Josephine are waiting in the war room with an update. What was she like? Divine Justinia, or her soul, or the spirit that took her form. I read your report. I know it isn't clear, but...
She refused to say anything outright. I could have used more direct answers and fewer journeys of self-discovery.
She made a lot of people feel that way.
She did ask me to tell you something, though. She said, "I'm sorry. I failed you too."
Oh. I should finish this before it slips my mind. Perhaps later we might discuss the matter further. Thank you.
I suppose we better get a few reactions. Oof, the This one's not gonna be pleasant.
The Grey Warden, Alistair. They tell me he died in the Fade?
He saved us, throwing himself at the demon to buy time.
A hero's death. That is something. Pray, Inquisitor, when all this is done, you do not regret the choices you made. You may find some things are harder to bear than others.
Yeah. Really didn't need that, Fiona. Jeez.
You have remarkably little here on early Tevinter history. All these gifts to the Inquisition, and the best they can do is the Malefica Imperio. Trite propaganda. But if you want 20 volumes on whether Divine Galatea took a shit on Sunday, this is evidently the place to find it.
That's the Dorian I know, critiquing every book in my library.
I wouldn't have to, if you could find some rebellious heretic archivist to join the cause.
Are there rebellious archivists? Other than you, that is.
If Corypheus ever starts burning masterworks of literature, I'm sure a few will pop up. Did I see something by Genitivi here? I could have sworn.
What is this about, Dorian?
What else could it be about? What happened at Adamant, of course. We went into the Fade. Physically went in. Are you... all right?
I learned a surprising amount. What happened at the Temple of Sacred Ashes, for one.
Regained your memories. That's good, then.
I think so.
You do realize this feat hasn't been performed in over 1,000 years. Corypheus and his contemporaries entered the Fade and began the Blights. In comparison.
So, I should be happy I accomplished something so grand?
Concerned, more like. If you can walk in the Fade, others will try to follow. Who knows what secrets Corypheus has revealed? Not all of them will be as lucky as you. What they could unleash. My advice? Keep this quiet. Let them speculate. Too many will see this as a challenge.
That's a good idea.
There are enough idiots in the world who think if they just use enough blood magic, their problems will vanish. It's exactly the sort of thing I want to stop back home. This I don't need. What I do need is a copy of the Liberalum. I'll wager I can find Corypheus's real name. If I can prove he was a grasping ankle-biter with no family to speak of, the luster would come right off. Wish me luck.
My heart.
I need to know more about Corypheus.
He has lost his army, and he has lost Orlais. That eliminates military or political means to rebuild Tevinter. He will need to demonstrate that no one in this world can stand against his magic. It will not be subtle.
Good to know.
We'll talk later.
Dareth Shiral.
So, the line of King Callahan the Great has finally ended. I didn't know Alistair that well, but he was a friend of a friend. One of the Wardens who ended the Fifth Blight. A big hero to a lot of people. He wasn't the first good man to fall to Corypheus. He won't be the last. This story's no good for heroes.
We're taking down Corypheus before he takes any more lives.
You know, sometimes when you say shit like that, I almost start to believe it. Oh, Hawk asked me to tell everyone back in Kirkwall where he's going. I should let Bethany know what's going on. I'd better write some letters. Excuse me.
Sorry, I really need to write some letters. Another time, all right?
I guess there's one last person we should talk to.
So, Alistair is dead. 'Tis fitting that he died in a foolhardy, if heroic fashion. That was his way.
It wasn't foolhardy. He sacrificed himself so I could escape.
Perhaps you and I have different definitions of the word. Still, I cannot fault his valiance, considering the end that normally awaits a Grey Warden. He did well.
I'll leave you to the garden.
Of course.
Alright, I'm gonna go cry a little bit now.